Hello, this is Rob Stewart, and this is the second video regarding student learning goals. If you watched the first video, it spent about 9 minutes going through the first 2 pages of this document. The first going through how to create your class goal, and then obviously writing that up, and then creating your targeted needs goal and writing that piece up as well. In this video, I'd like to spend just a little bit of time going through the last few pages of this document. And the third page here is called the Student Learning Goal Approval Form. And again, this depends on what year of the cycle you're on. If you're on year 1 or 2, you can be completing this form with your PLC members or your PLC facilitator. If you are on year 3, you would be completing this form with me, the summative evaluator. Again, we're looking at the class goal, the targeted needs goal, and underneath each goal, we're looking at these three things: priority of content, quality of assessment, and rigor of goal. The ultimate goal is to have acceptable checked in all of these boxes. I would ask that if for some reason maybe PLC members or when you and I met, if we found something that we felt maybe was unacceptable or needed some tweaking, that you would go back, we would make those changes, and then come back and everything would be checked acceptable. So hope that makes sense there. And then there's just a spot at the bottom to sign your name as far as the teacher, and then either my name for the summative evaluator or a PLC facilitator or member. Then we get into the next page, the fourth page, which is probably the most important page, and that is the results. So what happened? So we wrote this class goal, we wrote this targeted needs goal. Maybe we wrote it at the very beginning of the year after we got our NWA results, if we're teaching math or reading, or maybe we wrote this prior to the unit a month ago. And now we're done with the unit, or it's the end of the year. We've taken our spring NWAs, and now we have those results. And so now it's time to look and say, well, did we do it? Did we meet our class goal? Did we meet our targeted needs goal? And so it's just a one-page document. It does a real nice job of capturing everything, I think, anyways. And so the first part is, well, how many students achieved mastery? And what percent would that be? And then how many students were still at non-mastery, and what percent would that be? And we can see that we have that for both the class goal and the targeted needs goal. And then there's this little box here, but it grows. So don't worry about that, because as you type, this will continue to grow. And I think you'll want it to grow, because this is where you can reflect. Either you met the goal or you didn't meet the goal, but more importantly, what happened? If you met the goal, why did you meet the goal? What things occurred? What did you do differently? And what worked for you? If you didn't meet the goal, what happened? Why didn't you meet the goal? And what could be done differently next time, or what is the plan moving forward? And so you have this reflection piece for both the class goal and the targeted needs goal. And then right below that, there's another little spot where you can enter text. And this is where you can just kind of enter any significant changes. It could be attendance. It could be number of students in your class. It could be anything beyond that too. But any significant changes that you feel would be important to be considered prior to scoring your class goal and targeted needs goal. And then when you go meet with your PLC members, or when you come meet with me, everything is right here. This one-page snapshot really gives us a great discussion piece. And then we get into the rubric. The rubric is where obviously we kind of set that final score. But the one thing that we found last year during the pilot, and as I went through this rubric with all 10 pilot teachers last year, we really liked the fluidness that this rubric had. It's very difficult sometimes to just say you fit into exemplary, you fit into effective, you fit into development needed, or unsatisfactory. What this rubric does is it allows us to have a real good professional dialogue, and we can figure out, yep, this is where we think we fit. And sometimes we fit in the middle, and that's okay as well, as I will demonstrate here in just a second. But anyways, we're going to be looking at your class goal and your targeted needs goal again, and we're going to try to be figuring out where do you fit into this area after collecting all your data and trying to figure out if you met your goal or not. As I said, sometimes we feel that you're in the middle. And so the nice thing is we can click two boxes. They both stay checked, which would then document that we felt that we were in between. And so again, I was very impressed with just the professional dialogue that this rubric helped develop last year when meeting with all of the pilot teachers, and I'm excited to use this rubric with everyone now as we are into our student learning goal plan as far as our teacher evaluation process goes. And then you can also use this rubric with your PLC members and have that discussion as well if you're on year 1 or year 2. And then finally, there's just a spot for a little bit more feedback if need be, and then the final signature by the teacher and the final signature by the summative evaluator. Key thing to remember, those teachers that are on year 1 and 2, it's very important that you're keeping this entire document for all 3 years, because when we get together for that third and final year, we will be looking not just at that third year, but we'll be looking at your student learning goals for year 1, for year 2, and of course for year 3. And so that's very important to just keep that in the back of your minds. And that's it. These 2 videos now should take you all the way through the student learning goal document. Hopefully they've cleared up any questions that you've had, but if you still have questions, by all means, make sure that you let me know. Stop in, email me, whatever. We will definitely get together and we will go through any questions that you have. I hope you enjoyed these videos and have a great day.